Day 7 at Roland-Garros, alive with spectators enjoying the tennis, while for the players it was all business. There are routines to stick to, there are bodies to prepare as they head into battle. Focus to find with eyes on the main prize, no room for error and preparation key. It's what goes on off the court that gets results on it, and then the time comes to head out into the arena. Bienvenue, live at RG, coming to you from Roland-Garros, and what a day it's been. The round of 16 is very nearly complete, and here for you, a little look at what's coming up on tonight's show. Roland-Garros champions take to the courts. There's the perfect early birthday present for the 10-time champion. And we are at home with the Andersons. Hashtag RG18 if you'd like to get involved with the show. We're with you every night from 7 o'clock local time, and you can watch the show on the official channels, YouTube and Facebook of RolandGarros.com. Very happy to say that alongside me this evening, as ever, Nick McCarville and Camille Pin. Camille, your day yesterday involved a massage. Today, it was completely the opposite. You haven't stopped.
No, I haven't stopped, but you're jealous about my
Very
massage.
jealous.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yes, for sure.
But I'm relaxed today, and I had a long day, but such a nice day, and I'm happy to be with you guys, because we're having a lot of fun before, during the show, and after.
Now, Camille, I don't know what Nick was doing this morning, but at 7 o'clock this morning, I wasn't having a massage. I was at the laundrette, getting
Yes.
things ready. It's not very glamorous. I mean, I don't know, Nick, if you were having a massage.
No, I did that 2 days ago, the laundrette this morning. I dragged myself out of bed at 8 a.m. You're already working. I made it to the gym just for 20 minutes, but you got to squeeze it on these busy days at the Grand Slams.
It's a very busy day because play was suspended a little bit earlier than planned last night because of the rain. And now these are live pictures coming to us of the three-time champion, Serena Williams. She's out on court, Susan Longland. Camille, it is time for her match. It's a tough one against Julia Gerges, but here she comes again.
Yeah, we're happy to see her at this stage of the tournament. We didn't know what to expect with Serena, and actually she's serving great. She has the power that is her strength, and we're happy to see her just moving as well, and being against Julia Gerges is going to be a big challenge, but she can make it definitely.
Absolutely. A little bit later, I know the reporter Eli Weinstein will be having a look at that match. But Eli, where are you to start this evening? Because it looks fabulous.
Hi guys, I can't talk loud once again. I'm always get myself in these sticky situations. I am in the players' tribune on Court Philippe Chatrier. So right behind me, about 3 or 4 rows down, is the Del Potro staff, his family and the people who are traveling with him. I don't think he has a coach right now. They get to sit on this side because he's the better ranked player on court. And Ramos Vignolas, his staff, is on the other one in the international box. They're separated between the presidential tribune, where these white hats are, as you can see here. That's the ultimate place to sit when you're, that's the VVIP here at Roland-Garros. Del Potro, he's up 2 sets to love. He's looking to make round of 16 for the first time since 2012. Looks like he's going to make it, I think. Meanwhile, Ramos Vignolas, he's made the round of 16 for the past 3 years. So, you know, looks like Del Potro has the upper side. He's won the first 2 sets. He's showing some nerves. He's showing signs, emotions that he doesn't usually show. But I'm going to say Del Potro is going to go through. Maybe not, maybe yes. My thought is yes. And I'll catch you guys a little bit later.
I have to say, I do quite like whispering Eli, and the other wonderful thing behind Eli wasn't just the tennis, it was the sunshine. So Del Potro, Ramos Vignolas, they're looking to book their place in the round of 16. A number of matches are complete, so here for you a roundup of the day's action so far. And we start with the 10-time champion Rafa Nadal, who improved his 3rd round Roland-Garros record to 39-1 in sets. And he's now 16-0 against good friend Richard Gasquet. Nadal, who is 32 tomorrow, he's a defending champion, he's world #1. He's into the round of 16 here for the 13th time. Unlucky for some, but you have a feeling might just be lucky for Rafa Nadal.
Rafael Nadal in sublime form today. So was Maria Sharapova, the 2-time champion, dropping just 3 games against Karolina Pliskova. She gets her 56th win here at Roland-Garros, and she could just maybe take on Serena Williams in the next match. She brings a 2-19 head-to-head against Serena, should that match happen in a couple days' time.
We wish it could happen
Yes.
see what's going on, the former winners.
And we'll keep an eye on Serena Williams, who's just taken to the court. But the 2016 champion, Garbina Muguruza, she crushed Sam Stosur in a little over an hour, 6-love, 6-2, to reach the round of 16 without dropping a set. A flawless performance from the Spaniard, who is still in the mix to be world #1 by the end of the tournament.
An absolutely devastating performance from Muguruza today. There were lots of dramatics for David Goffin and Gael Monfils. It was a 2-1 lead. Monfils, it looked like perhaps it was his match to have late in the fourth set, but he did come unraveled, hitting over 70 unforced errors against Goffin. The number 8 seed now moves into the fourth round to take on a surprise opponent, Marco Cecchinato, for a spot in the quarterfinals.
Everything's starting to take shape, but not for 8th seed Petra Kvitov, who suffered her first loss in 13 matches, a straight sets defeat to 22-year-old Estonian Enet Kontaveit, who's now got 4 top 10 wins since the start of March. She's into the round of 16, and she's assured of a new career-high ranking. Incredible tournament so far from the Estonian.
We're going to hear from her very soon. She's very talented and still very young.
Well, another young player, Camille, Kyle Edmund, he was seeded to win this match today. It went all the way to the distance, 4-5 serving in the fifth set, but experience won over. Fabio Fognini is back into the second week at Roland-Garros for the first time in 7 years. We love his zaniness. He's got a lightning bolt on his chest, and he plays like lightning on the court. 41 winners for the 31-year-old Italian. He was in the quarterfinals in 2011. He'll get to play for a chance there against Marin Cilic on Monday.
And I'm afraid Karen Khachanov broke French hearts with a 22-year-old finishing the job he started last night against the 15th seed Luca Pouille, resuming at 1-1 in the third and 2 sets up. Khachanov closed it out for his second consecutive round of 16 at Roland-Garros. That may not have been the result the crowd wanted, but a really good result for Khachanov.
Yeah, how impressive is Khachanov? He already beat Luca Pouille in final in Marseille, but on hard court, what a performance on clay for him.
Yeah, and Khachanov didn't have the best clay season coming in, but looking good here. So is Simona Halep. She squeaked out the first set 7-5 against Andrea Petkovic, a former semifinalist here, and then ran off the last 6 games of the match. Petko had a little injury on her knee in the second set, but it's a 31st win of 2018 for the world #1, who next gets Elise Mertens, who she dropped just 3 games against a few weeks ago, Camille, in Madrid.
Yeah, it was a huge fight in the first set, such an intensity from both players, but in the end, Simona Halep is used to that and just managed to win in 2 sets.
Camille, what other results from today caught your eye?
I like the Maximilian Matter win because I really like this young guy, lefty, a lot of power, and I think he's gonna improve a lot this year and already here in Roland-Garros.
And on the second page there, Caroline Garcia's name in bold because she moves through.
Yeah, such an easy score again for Caroline. I mean, she's dealing with pressure. I'm so impressed about. It seems like she's 30 years old and just dealing with all those things. And she's so focused. She plays her game and she doesn't think about something else. So I'm really proud of her so far, what she's doing. So she can make something good, I think, this year.
So we've seen a few of the match points. We've rounded up the results, which means there can only be one place we can go to now, and that is to Camille Pain's Shot of the Day.
Oh no, they said they changed the note. Yeah, the aggressivity of the
I just leave you two to it now.
Yeah,
It's our favorite part of the show, sadly enough.
Expecting that. No, I chose this point because Sharapova was moving on this point quite well. It's one of her weaknesses. You can see that in the end she ended up with a winner after just running, and I think it's a sign that she's in a great form and she's coming back. Both players had against Pliskova the same kind of game with a great serve, doing some winners, some mistakes, and in the end it's Sharapova who was just better today, and because she moved quite well and finishing with winner like that, I think it was quite important to show that, to see that she's there, she's coming back.
She hit 18 winners today to Pliskova's 5. She also served better than Pliskova, who's known as the ace queen. And overall for Maria, she was the one that played aggressive tennis, and she said she's looking forward, if she plays Serena Williams next, she's looking forward to that matchup.
Now here on Live at RG, we like to give you as much behind-the-scenes access as possible. So we spent the day following 2-time French Open champion, you've just seen her there, Maria Sharapova, from the moment she arrived here on site.
La Russe Maria Sharapova.
Just and match, Mademoiselle Sharapova. Du matches är vår sista.
It's quite a long day from start to finish when you think about it. She got here so early, but she'll be happy to stay and do all the press because Maria Sharapova is through to the round of 16. I'm very happy to say that now, joining Nick, Camille and myself, former world number 12, Tatiana Golovin. Tatiana, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Lovely to have you here. And you are a returning French Open champion, mixed doubles champion with Richard Gasquet in 2004. That must feel quite special as a returning champion coming back each year to a tournament.
I love this introduction. I can say I've won a Grand Slam, even though it's in mixed doubles. Obviously, these are great memories for me here in Paris at this tournament. I think especially because we were so young, winning it with Richard. I was only 16, he was 18, so
That's
everything
incredible.
was so new for us, and we had absolutely no ambitions. When I think we got
Just having fun.
Yeah,
It was the only ambition.
well, I think we both lost. Probably first round, we got wild cards. We lost first round, and we were kind of like, okay, what do we do now? And we ended up playing the first round, and I think we played seeds, and we're like, we're never going to win this. And then we ended up winning one match, two matches, and then we're like in the semis, and I'm like, okay, well, now we got to go all the way. So definitely it was great memories, and it really helped us in our career afterwards, because I think we went on and played both very well at Wimbledon. So definitely was a boost of confidence as well.
So Tatiana, 10 years, I cannot believe it, 10 years since you've been off the tour, but what are you up to now, this French Open? Obviously staying busy, but doing work outside of and in the media.
Yeah, I have two kids now, so
Wow.
that's actually
Congratulations.
Thank you. So that takes a lot of my time. Other than that, as you said, doing work for French TV with BN Sports, ambassador for Rolex as well. So we do a few events with them, and working also with the younger kids at the federation, helping out on the courts. This has been actually new for. I've done that last year, and that's definitely a different output on the sport, is being able to help the younger French generation.
coming
Yeah.
through.
How do you manage to work like that with the kids? I mean, do you take them sometimes, or how do you deal with that?
I'm so lucky I have my mom. I don't think I
Maybe
would
you
do
might take the
anything
moment to
exactly.
thank her.
Exactly. Absolutely. I wouldn't be able to do it without her. So it's really all up to her. She's the one that stays with them when I'm away at work. But luckily, it's not everyday work either. So I do have time to spend with the children.
I love mums. They help out so much. Now, with knowing that you were coming in, Tatiana, and having Camille here, two former players, Nick and I were chatting about this, and we really wanted to look at tennis and maybe ask the question, or put the question to you, has it become more professional off the court? Because from us as outsiders, we hear about psychologists and nutritionists and the kind of stretching that Novak Djokovic does, for instance. It looks inhumane, but it's all part of building their career. Have you seen, Tatiana, a massive difference from when you were 16 and playing to
Well,
now?
I think, as you bring up Djokovic, I think he's the perfect example of how perfectionist you have to be now to be able to play at that level. And I think Nadal and Federer also work so much and have so much, a lot of people helping them. But we see it really with Djokovic, because he talks about his nutrition, about the gluten-free, sugar-free, dairy-free, like everything is free. I don't even know what he eats.
Not protein-free.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then you see all, like, as you say, the way he works out. He's not shy about opening up and talking about it. And the players now want to play for a much longer period of time as well. So you see Federer, who's close to over 35, and he's still on tour, even with Serena and Venus. And you need to be able to take care of your body, and that comes from taking care of it before you start getting injured. It's preventing those injuries that counts.
I believe, Tad, that the change has been made like maybe 8-9 years ago, and that's why maybe the players are older now, because 10 years ago they started to go for details. It was new, all those kinds of nutrition thing, and maybe that's why at
So this could
35
be the
now,
result
because
of that.
before it was more 30, like the limit, and suddenly it was 35, 36, 38. So I believe that it's because of those details that are already now something important, and now they can play for ages.
And also the players start on tour, I guess, a little bit later too. Before we already had players at 14, 15, 16 winning big titles. Now they start a little bit later, so they take more time into, as you say, the psychology preparation, because you have to be able to deal with the burnout, not to come on tour too early and then not able to play for years after. So it's definitely become so much more professional, and it's much healthier in general to be this type of athlete.
Were you very healthy because when you go into players' restaurants, there's some unhealthy things there, and there's some very
the coaches,
and there's some
or people around, or the
Some
family.
players, some guys.
I was wondering that because I always think, well, what's that doing there? You should be eating all these kind of things. I mean, where you got looked after in players' lounges now around tournaments. I mean, just look at this here at Roland-Garros. I mean, Camille, that's a stunning spread.
Yeah, there's everything. There's more variety of food. Before it was only pasta, rice, and a bit of veggies. Now you have sushi. You have, like, in order for players to eat well, and sometimes they're like French fries, for example. It's more like, okay, you lost, you need some French fries. Come on.
It's
Mentally,
true.
Mentally, you need to live.
And
Yeah.
we saw also, I think, was it Jeannie Bouchard who was putting pictures of McDonald's, and you had Benoit Paire who loves
loves
hamburgers
a
and the
McDonald's.
Five Guys and all that.
Yeah, he'll eat a pizza at one
yeah,
sitting. You'll just eat an
yeah.
entire pizza.
But I
Benoit
think
Paire.
the more sacrifices you do, the more it pays off as well. So I think you can definitely tell, like a player like Svitolina now, you've seen how much fitter she got. So you definitely know that she made some efforts, definitely in the plate area, for her to be able to be fitter. Kvitova was the same thing when she came back last year. She had a little bit of, extra weight, and now she's super fit. So you definitely see the players who are careful with what they eat, and some who are, kind of give herself too much pleasure.
A little bit more relaxed. We've been speaking to head of physios here at Roland-Garros, Christophe Secaldi, and getting his views because he's been on the tour a long time to see how he feels things have changed and maybe why they have changed.
I think the evolution of the prize money is for that, because all the players have around her a staff for the health, for the coaching, for the training, and it's better for the game and for the play and for the tennis.
So Christophe thinks that the prize money did you both have big entourages? Who made up your teams?
I hated tennis coaches, so I actually only had a physio. I had so much trouble having a coach around on tour with me. So yeah, I traveled with my physio because obviously I had ankle problems, and definitely just tennis where you have to play every day. You need your body to recuperate. It's not like you have a week to recuperate after. So definitely, I had a physio.
You just
with
had
me.
the physio. Did
Yeah.
you have a big entourage, Camille?
Yeah, no, I had my coach, and I couldn't afford a physio, like added to the coach. But I really like to go to the physio from WTA because we had some. It was like a kind of place where
family.
you were talking about family, about guys, about what. It was like the moment that you relax and you talk. It was more than physios.
Yeah,
It was
therapy session.
exactly. I could
Physical
had
and emotional.
years of therapy sessions in the physio room. Yeah.
I'm curious for both of you, and Tatiana, obviously your career was cut short because you did not get to play through those injuries. But when you look at what the players are using now and what they're implementing with their teams, do you feel like, gosh, if I would have had that? I mean, you said having, learned what you have as a mom even, you would have wanted to apply that to your tennis. And Chanda was talking about that as well. But when you see it now, is there any sort of pangs of, gosh, I wish I would have, or I wish I have?
I don't like living with regrets.
Fair enough.
But I think, I was lucky because I grew up at Bollettieri, so I think we were already surrounded by a very professional atmosphere. But I think definitely there were things that I could have been more professional, like even we say with food, with your lifestyle, with being more professional. You can always get better. You can always improve. So I don't think it's. People have just have realized it sooner now, at a very young age, that you have to be a certain type of person, a certain type of professional if you want to really make it. That if you do it halfway, it's really not going to work.
And it's interesting, you spoke about dealing with burnout if you're young when you come onto the scene. Kevin Anderson, we're going to be hearing from him not about this, but he wrote a piece and he said he feels it's the mental side of things that's the most important. So he's hired someone to travel with him to look after the mental side of things. And that's something I didn't feel we were hearing about that, 10 years ago or so?
Of course, because it's not for nothing that we say tennis is also a mental game. It's a complete game, but it's especially a mental game. And just the whole lifestyle where you're always on the road, you're always traveling, you're never with your friends. I mean, you might have maybe your boyfriend or your wife or someone from your family traveling with you, but that's very difficult as well because you can't have someone have their life on pause just to travel with you. So you're alone, you're always in new hotels. You have to deal with losing and winning, which is never easy, playing well, not playing well. So the mental part is a huge, huge part of tennis. And sometimes you might not be as talented on the court, but you have a stronger mental than some other player who's maybe better than you on the tennis court. You actually end up going further.
It's interesting. There's so many things that go into it, and as Tatiana said, it's kind of non-stop. They're on the tour the whole time. You just saw Serena Williams there. She is on court now. It's been a long day on Susan Longland. We had some epic matches. The three-time champion is on court. And Eli, have you made your way over to Susan Longland?
Yeah, I am courtside Suzanne Longland here. Match started a few minutes ago. We're on serve. Both players are serving very well. There have been a bunch of aces. Julia Gorgeous, as the French would sometimes say, Julia Georges, is definitely her strategy is to make Serena run. She's throwing drop shots to her as soon as she can. The two have met twice in the past, and Serena's won twice. Once it was here in 2010, so that was in another time. The score was 6-1, 6-1. Julia Gorgeous is back to a very good ranking and good shape. She's 11 in the world now. This is going to be a serious challenge for Serena. Anyways, it's going to get harder and harder for her as she goes through the rounds, if she makes it through this round again. But she's upping her game as she goes along, and she's chasing down those drop shots. And I think that the German girl is a little bit surprised that her strategy isn't quite working out. Anyways, no breaks yet. The crowd, the place is packed. The weather's beautiful, and there's some awesome tennis being played. So, hey, I mean, what else could you ask for?
Well, not a lot, and I have a feeling that's where you're going to be for the rest of the evening. Thank you very much for now, Eli. So we showed you a little bit about what Maria Sharapova, as was the case, got up to when she came on site first thing this morning until she held her post-match winning press conference. It is, though, and we've touched on it a little bit in our discussion, just as important to focus on life away from the court, as we've been finding out.
As I've gotten on in my career and we've played so many tournaments, one thing that we both really enjoy is just being really close to the courts. In the mornings we are very convenient. We go through the south gate here. It's literally less than 100 yards from the site, so it's as I said, it just takes a couple minutes. It actually takes longer getting from the locker room to the end of the gate because I have to sign a few autographs and take some pictures, and then once I'm through, it's then literally 30 seconds to get here. We've been renting homes for quite a few years now. The last 2 years we've actually been really close to the courts, just within walking distance. And when there's so much stuff going on and you spend so much time training, doing rehab, just having a short commute is really nice. It gives it a different feel. Obviously we're in hotels all year round, and I think both of us really have enjoyed staying in apartments. We rent apartments during the French, during Wimbledon. We've also rented during Australian Open as well. It just makes it feel like a little bit more home.
I like just being able to live more like a local, going to the markets and really get the experience of what it feels like to be a Parisian. It's also really fun to be so close to Roland-Garros when everything's taking place. We can literally hear the crowds cheering if a big point happens on Susan Longland. So that's like exciting and fun, just to kind of feel like you're really a part of it all and just in the thick of things.
It's very spacious. Kelsey's in charge of booking our accommodation, so she definitely got a flying pass, I should say, this year. It's really nice. We've got quite a few bedrooms. We've got a great downstairs area with a little garden as well. She knows how to like they.
I haven't actually cooked when we've been here in Paris, but it is nice for breakfast and things like that to just kind of be able to wake up and have your coffee and your jammies and all that stuff is like really relaxing, as opposed to at a hotel where you're going down. Sometimes you're bumping into other players. So I think it's a little bit more relaxed and secluded for sure.
I've been having the TV on, watching some French Open. I've got my guitar. As we spoke about, we've got our dog and got great company, and that's pretty much all I need, during these weeks.
It's a lovely bit of guitar to end things on there, and the walk to work is pretty short for Kevin Anderson, Nick.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, he has long legs, so any walk is short for him. But just to go, he goes across the street to Roland-Garros. He said it actually takes him longer to get from the locker room to any outside court that he plays on. And they seem very relaxed. It's what you need. They've been on tour for a long time. They've got the guitar. They've got Lady Katie, their dog, and they're just hanging out, living their Parisian life.
Remind me what the dog is?
A Chiweenie.
I still don't know what that is.
Chihuahua and a
Chihuahua?
wiener mix.
That
Chai
still
weenie.
slightly confuses
Google
me.
it at your own risk.
But something that Kevin Anderson has done in his career is he's invested in the team.
Yeah.
Didn't used to travel with the physio, but now there's a physio because there's a lot of Kevin
Mm-hmm.
Anderson to look after. And Kelsey travels full time, and he's investing in his future.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's important because his life is in tournament. So you can see he's trying to find what he has at home. House before it was different. The players were going to nice hotels,
Yeah.
and more they are changing their habits to maybe try to cook a little bit with their wife and to find a house in every tournament. In Wimbledon, it's also a lot of houses are rented by players because otherwise, imagine like 20 years of your life in the hotels. It's driving you crazy.
I'm
So-
still trying to work out why he threw a towel to his box.
It looks like his agent Stuart was very much after a towel, so he got rewarded a towel with Kevin's win today in 4
Okay,
sets.
lovely.
Not that easy to get those styles.
Yeah,
We're always,
exactly.
like,
They're hot
trying to, kind of
commodities.
It's like a
steal.
collection, you know. Did you do some collections? I did from French Open.
You
Yeah.
Every year,
Should
yeah.
you admit
I
that?
think Wimbledon was harder to get. Not
Yeah,
the
it
towels
was
at
a bit
Wimbledon.
harder
So you
to
try to
get.
get
that
those.
people turn around to their chair and they're gone.
They're gone.
If they haven't
Yeah,
unfolded
yeah,
them,
it's tricky there.
they just take them away from you.
You gotta have a strategy there if you want one.
You want just a really big empty bag, and you just keep putting them in, I guess would be one strategy. I wanted to ask you, Tatiana, while you're here and Serena Williams is on court, you're the mother of two, as is Camille, as am I, but I'm not a professional athlete. How impressed have you been with Victoria Azarenka and Mandy Manila to an extent, and Serena Williams, the way they've come back, and with Serena Williams, the level she's coming back at?
I have mixed feelings about this.
Okay.
As a mother, I speak because I feel like it's such a life-changing thing to have a baby, and I feel that maybe Serena should have taken a little bit more time before coming back on tour. I think she should have maybe enjoyed being the motherhood those first months and not think so soon to come back on tour. The tennis will stay. Maybe I feel like she could have maybe enjoyed a bit more staying at home, and then she could have maybe come back fitter because now she looks in better shape. But when she came back for Indian Wells in Miami, it was like you shouldn't be on the court. Azarenka is a different story because she really took her time. She's extremely fit. She's even though she had those personal problems with traveling with her baby, but she feels a bit more in a mentality where she's really.
She had time with her baby.
Yeah. So I think it's important to also tell new mothers you don't have to go back to work right away. You don't have to go back, and be the way you were before. It's okay to accept that you've also changed. So it's impressive what she's doing, but I think it's very personal and it can't only be an example. You can also stay at home and enjoy your motherhood and take your time before you go back to work.
And
So
that's
you won't go back for now.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not
Tatiana.
going back on the tennis court, that's for sure.
It's interesting.
All right. Never knows.
I like that you brought that up, though, because Victoria Azarenka is on the player council, and she told us earlier this tournament that they're looking to give mothers more time, more breathing room to come back to tour so that they don't feel rushed by the rules to come back and play.
Yeah, no, it is an interesting one. I do want to get in before time runs out on our tomorrow's schedule because we carry on at the round of 16 time to see what's going on and where. And if you've got the order of play on set up, Camille, what would be the match for you if you could take one of those matches and say yes? Which one is it?
I like the team Nishikori. I like Dominic Thiem. Don't even ask me. No?
I didn't know this. Okay,
Guess we
fine.
should
Yeah,
have.
now you
Yeah,
know.
okay.
Now we do.
Right. So who's going to win that? Dominic Thiem.
Shot of the day
Yeah.
tomorrow,
Dominic
Dominic
Dominic Thiem. Yeah, we're sick of Dominic Thiem after a week.
So who do you like on court, Susan Longland?
Susan Langland Kachanov. I really like this Russian guy.
Getting an
For me, like-
insight into
and,
Camille
he's-
here. aren't we?
yeah. No, but against Zverev, it's such a great match to see tomorrow.
And do you like Juan Martín Del Potro because he's
Yeah.
just come through and he's through to round of 16?
No, I mean, he didn't play that good today against Ramos Vinola. He was like not hitting that hard as he used to do, but it's great because he just won in 3 sets, and I think for his body, it was important for him to win this way.
Yeah, he seems, Tatiana, he takes a while. He's like a diesel engine to get going, but then you don't want too many miles on the clock.
Yeah, and I think even if he is fit, it's gonna be tough to go get Nadal in a 3, 4, 5 setter. So the road is still very long for Del Potro. He's had kind of an open draw, and he's been relying on his serve and his big hitting. But I think you need to get better preparation if you want to go far on clay courts. You can't just arrive 1 week before and kind of expect to go far in a Grand Slam. But we're happy to see him, and we're happy to see him healthy, and he's had such an amazing run in the beginning of the year. Definitely, he's going to have ambitions for Wimbledon and the hard court season later on.
Tatiana, it's been an absolute joy and a pleasure. Thank you very much
you.
for
Thank you.
joining
Love
us.
that.
Thank you so much.
Merci. Merci
We've
à
got
vous,
Camille's
merci à
top
tous.
3 men that tomorrow is going to be hot shots from Dominic Thiem and shot of the day and highlights.
And we had a chai weenie on the show.
And I still don't know what that is.
Perfect.
You've been watching live at RG. We cover all sorts of things. We'll be with you every night, local time from 7 p.m. right through until the end of the tournament. Hashtag RG18 if you'd like to get in touch with us. If you'd like to tell friends about the show, we're on the official Roland-Garros channels. They are YouTube and Facebook, and we'd love you to be with us. We'll have more of the same tomorrow night, so we look forward to your company then. Bye for now.